Okay, so now we are on to part 3. And so I mentioned that I went for the deliverance and it didn't last all that long. And so for about a year, I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with deliverances or nothing. I felt defeated. I felt devastated. I felt like I didn't know what to do, you know. And then I was led to another person, a pastor, a prophet, and he actually said to me that I had an evil ring on my finger. And then it was just, I was beyond angry. I was beyond, you know, like, this thing was literally claiming me for itself, you know. And he prayed for me and got delivered once again. And then it was also a few weeks, I don't know how long exactly, and I had another attack. And then I just remember sitting on the floor and crying out to God, saying, you know, I'm missing something. Something is very wrong about how this has been going, and I'm sure there must be resolution to this, because these things are under your feet, you know, but there's something that I'm missing about the approach, or just, I don't know, like, I will never go for another deliverance session once again. I've heard of people that went once and they got delivered and that was it, and I'm sure that God had a different way with them, or God's will for their life was different, in a sense where maybe my journey was so hectic because of the fact that I had to come and tell you guys all of this. You know, I had to get into the depth of the knowledge of an understanding of how these things operate and why. And but I was like, God, you know, please give me something. I can't do this anymore. I can't have this thing claiming me for itself and coming and forcing itself on me anymore. I can't do it. So I promise you, like, either the next day or within the next 2 or 3 days, I came across someone on YouTube. His name is Mr. Whitfield Harrington, and I would link his videos in the description box below. He has a 6-part video series on spirit spouses, and he starts with video 1 of a biblical understanding and explanation and the origin, and then he goes into depth about how they operate in your life, things that you do that keep them in your life, and then how to get rid of them. So I was keen when he, in video 6 where he tells you how to get rid of this thing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I started to, because you will see his videos and he talks about how you should fast and how you should pray, specific prayer points. And he literally says that you should see the spirit dying, like falling over and dying, you know. And I was like, well, that's weird. But spirits can die, demons can die, but then they just go back to hell where they came from originally. So and I started straight off the bat. I was like, okay, I got this to this channel at work in the morning, and I came home in the evening. I was like, I'm going to start this now. I can't, you know. The way he explains it, it actually gets you excited to do it. And so the first part of his prayer points is that you should call the spirit out. You should literally tell it that you're aware, and you command it to come out of its hiding place, you know. And that's like the first part of the prayer, and then there's a second part of the prayer when this thing manifests. Nevertheless, I prayed that prayer one time, and that evening, that very same evening, this thing came like in a dream, a vision, and it was angry. Like, when I say angry, I'm talking about fuming, and it showed me what it really looked like. Okay, and then I was more nauseated than ever. This thing looks like the upper part of its body is like a man, you know, like some sort of Hercules type of man, and then the lower part is like a fish, like literally it's got a tail. It's like a merman. And it was sitting on its side, like with its tail, and then its upper part was like a man, and then its head was half man, half fish. You know, like its face was like a shape of a man, but it's like these little fish nostrils and these, disgusting. And it was like angry, and its eyes were like bulging. It was so angry with me. And Mr. Harrington says that this would in fact happen. So what I then did wrong, which I want to encourage you guys, is he says when you start, you don't stop. Don't start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. So when you pray that prayer and this thing comes at you like that and reveals itself, then you go into the second part of the prayer points, where you loose weapons to kill this thing, okay? And I was so scared out of my brain when I saw that thing. I mean, you can imagine. I was like, oh, so I didn't initially go into the second part of the prayer point. So this thing was just at this point, it was angry at me. It was like coming for me, guns blazing now, So the journey becomes very difficult when you start, stop. So I did start, stop for a while, and then I had successes, but I wasn't able to kill it because I think I was just so tired and drained, because the night just before my breakthrough, the night just before my spirit husband was killed, I had 4 attacks. 4 attacks. I think it started at 10 p.m. It was 10, 12, 2, and 4. So I was I don't want to use a bad word, but this thing came onto me and molested me and had his way with me and threw me from the bed and tried to strangle me and scratched me and bit me 4 times, because now it was like it felt like it wanted to kill me. Okay, so I was scared. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was scared. I didn't have the strength to continue. So I called in help from a prophet that I was fortunate enough that God connected me with. And I see that time is running out, so there might be a part 4. And because I really want to end this in the right way, and I want to end this on a high note for you guys, because now at this point it seems hectic, but stick around for part 4, and then yeah, I'll see you guys there.